Hello, welcome to my class again. Today I am going to talk about human rights. Okay, now I'll be talk about the concept of human rights. What is meant by human rights? I hope you know you can understand. Okay, now what are human rights? The rights that are inherent to all human beings, irrespective of our nationality, place of residence, sex, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. So, irrespective of any status, every human being has their rights. We are all equally entitled to our human rights without discrimination. Without any discrimination, without any differences, all people are supposed to access their rights. Therefore, all are equally entitled to their own rights without any discrimination. Now, these rights are interrelated, interdependent, and indivisible. Whatever the rights we have, we can access. These rights are undoubtedly interrelated. Okay, these rights are related to our life. These rights are related to different aspects of our life, as well as these rights are interdependent, as well as these rights are indivisible. Okay. Now, going to the next slide pertaining to the concept of human rights. Human rights are inalienable. Human rights are inseparable. Human rights are inalienable. These are very integral part of our life. Okay, all the people, irrespective of their any difficulties, they can access the rights. Okay, all the people have their rights. Okay, now they should not be taken away except in specific situations and according to due process. Okay, now the rights cannot be taken away except in specific situations and according to due process. One may not be able to access one right, maybe under specific situations, maybe under specific cases, as well as which should be according to a proper process. Okay, so every person has the right. Okay, so every person living in our society can access their rights. Okay, now uh, the rights should not be taken away except in specific situations and according to due process. For example, the right to liberty may be restricted if a person is found guilty of a crime by a court of law. So, for example, on specific situation only, one individual may not be able to get his or her right. Okay, so for example, the right to liberty may be restricted if a person is found guilty of a crime by a court of law. Okay, if one individual is supposed to do certain types of crime, he may not use his right to liberty. Okay. Now, there are certain characteristics of human rights. First is interdependent and indivisible. Okay. It means that all human rights are indivisible, whether they are civil and political rights, such as the right to life, okay, equality before the law, and freedom of expression, economic, social, and cultural rights, such as rights to work, social security, and education, or collective rights, such as the rights to development and self-determination, are indivisible, interrelated, and interdependent. So, whatever people can access the rights, all the rights are indivisible. All the rights are interrelated, as well as all the rights are interdependent. Whether they are civil and political rights, including the right to life, okay, equality before the law, and freedom of expression. These rights are indivisible. These rights cannot be devised, okay, cannot be divided into parts, okay. And other rights like economic, social, and cultural rights, such as the rights to work, social security, and education, or collective rights, such as the rights to development, as well as self-determination, are interrelated, interdependent, and indivisible rights. So it is one character of human rights. Next is equal and non-discriminatory. Okay. Every people, irrespective of their any discrimination based on sex, race, color, or other aspects, they can equally access their rights. Okay, it means every people can access their rights. They are free to access their rights, irrespective of any discrimination on the basis of the discrimination maybe on race, on sex, on color, or other aspects. Okay. Then there is one article, Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, truly asserted that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. It directly tells that every people, irrespective of their any difficulties, any discrimination, they can access their rights. Okay, they are free and they can access the rights equally. Okay. Now, another character of human rights is both, rights, human rights entail both rights and obligations. Okay, human rights include both rights as well as obligations too. Yes, while we have the rights, accordingly or simultaneously, we have the obligations. Okay. Now, there are obligations, some types of obligations like obligations to respect, obligations to protect, as well as obligations to fulfill human rights. Now, the obligation to respect means the states must refrain from interfering with or curtailing the enjoyment of human rights. It means that the states should not interfere any person in enjoyment of his or her human rights. Okay, it is the obligation to respect. Okay, it means that the state should provide, equal opportunity to all the people, that they can equally get their own rights. They can equally access their own rights. So states should not interfere in enjoyment of human rights. The next is obligation to protect, which requires states to protect individuals and groups against human rights abuses. It clearly states that the states should protect every individuals as well as groups against any type of human rights abuses. Okay. Next is obligation to fulfill, means that states must take positive action to facilitate the enjoyment of basic human rights. States should provide opportunities for enjoyment of basic human rights to all people. Okay. Now at the individual level, while we are entitled our human rights, we should also respect the human rights of others too. Equally, we should keep concern on this part. Now, modern human rights. There is another, modern concept of human rights. Human rights is one of such rights which has been conferred to individuals by the states in the modern international law. The modern perspective to human rights is reflected in the Vienna Declaration adopted by the World Conference on Human Rights in June 1993. The declaration categorically states that all human rights are universal, indivisible, and interdependent and interrelated, and that democracy, development, and respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms are interdependent and mutually reinforcing. Okay, so while we are supposed to access our rights, undoubtedly, these rights are interdependent. These rights are interrelated. Okay, as well as already stated, these rights are indivisible. Okay, the conference reaffirmed the right to development as a universal, inalienable right and an integral part of the fundamental human rights. Now, the World Conference reaffirmed the right to development as a universal, inalienable right. So this conference declared the right to development as one of the most essential right, one of the universal essential right and an integral part of the fundamental human rights. Okay, the legal process in the universality of human rights effectively commenced with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948. So after the declaration of the Human Rights of 1948, the human rights are universally accepted, okay, throughout the world. Adoption of the United Nations Charter in the aftermath of the Second World War can rightly be considered as a landmark in the journey towards universal acceptance of human rights. Okay. Now, kinds of human rights. There are two kinds of human rights. Number one is civil and political rights. Number two is economic, social, and cultural rights. Number one, civil and political rights. Civil rights and liberties are referred to those rights which are related to the protection of the right to life and personal liberty. Okay, it is clear that civil right and liberties are referred to those rights which are related to the protection of the right to life as well as personal liberty. They are essential for a person so that he may live a dignified life. Okay, such rights include right to life, liberty, right to privacy, freedom from torture, and right to own property. These rights also known as freedom from. So the civil and political rights is easy to understand as these rights are really essential rights which include the right to life, right to liberty, right to privacy, okay, right to freedom from torture, and right to own property. Okay, where is political? These are civil rights and liberties, whereas the political rights may be referred to those rights which allow a person to participate in the government of a state. For example, right to vote, right to be elected, and right to take part in conduct of public affairs. So it is clear that civil rights, which are essential rights, as well as the political rights, which are another essential rights for us. Okay. Then next is the nature of both civil and political rights may be different, but they are interrelated, and therefore it does not appear logical to differentiate them. Okay. This region led to the formulation of one covenant covering both civil and political rights into one covenant, for example, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Okay, so this covenant is like a written pledge obligation. Okay, covenant is like obligation. Okay, now the nature of both civil and political rights may be different, but they are interrelated. Although we can talk about the civil and political rights separately, but these rights are, inseparable, interrelated, and therefore it does not appear logical to differentiate them. We cannot differentiate between civil and political rights. Okay, so therefore this creates international covenant on civil and political rights. Okay, next is economic, social, and cultural rights. Okay, here economic, social, and cultural rights are based fundamentally on the concept of social equality. are related to the guarantee of minimum necessities of the life to human beings. It is the right of all the people to get the minimum necessities, to fulfill minimum necessities of life. In the absence of these rights, the existence of human beings is like to be endangered. It means that if the people are unable to fulfill their minimum necessities of life, then their life may become troubled. Okay, their life may become difficult. Okay, so economic, social, and cultural rights are based fundamentally on the concept of social equality. Now, right to adequate food, clothing, housing, and adequate standard of living, and freedom from hunger, right to work, right to social security, right to physical and mental health, and right to education are included in this category of rights. Okay, then these rights, sometimes called positive rights, require active intervention, not abstentions on the part of the states. It means that the state should take part in providing opportunities to the people so that they can access their rights equally in the society. Okay, the enjoyment of these rights requires a major commitment of resources. These rights, as well as the enjoyment of rights, require resources, and therefore their realization cannot be immediate, as in the case of civil and political rights. They need resource in order to access the economic, social, and cultural rights. And here, states should play a very significant role to provide opportunities to all people so that all people can access their own rights. The rights of economic right, social, and cultural rights. Okay, now although the United Nations has recognized the above two sets of rights into separate covenants, for example, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, there is a close relationship between them. It has been rightly realized, especially by the developing countries, that civil and political rights can have no meaning unless they are accompanied by social rights, economic rights, and cultural rights. So from this perspective, all the rights are interrelated, interdependent, and indivisible. Thus, both categories of rights are equally important. And where civil and political rights do not exist, there cannot be full realization of economic, social, and cultural rights, and vice versa. Okay, so it is all for today's class, today's presentation pertaining to human rights. Hope you may have understood. Thank you so much for listening to me. Okay, we'll meet you again in my next presentation.